Stop, Cortez.
All right, let's go. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, what's up, guys? Gorilla Hands back for I missed last week, which was rather eventful, we'll say the least.
To say the least, yes.
But it's also very interesting. Got, what is it, the 10th forecast? We're actually doing it 2 weeks in a row because this is probably going to be the last one for this year. We might have one next week, but this is probably going to be. We have to get it in because tomorrow's the end of the world anyway, so get one last forecast in before we all are dead. Um, and today, I think strictly we're going to talk about Gears War Judgment. And we've got two guys from the U Forum that big Gears fans. There's BA, who of course has two Brutal Legends, which
boom,
it's stabby.
Yes, I do.
Just want to throw that in there. If you don't know what Brutal Legends is, it's getting 500 MVP medals. Got two of them. That's hard to do.
It's really not that. It's really not that impressive, guys.
MVP rate. It's
about
really 70% MVP rate. That's all.
It's really not that impressive.
And Lemmings as well. And Lemmings, do you still have your Retro Lancer in the background? Or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Shit's awesome.
Hello.
That is
retro.
pretty badass. I actually have to go up and get one of those. Where did you get it again? For people that might.
Play.com, £70.
Okay, gonna have to look into that. Hopefully they do something like that, similar with Gears of War Judgment. They put out some new items as well. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about Gears of War Judgment. There's been Stabby's here. He's always here.
What the fuck? Okay, hang on, bitches, because I'm sick as hell. You probably can't tell.
Honestly, you look like The Walking Dead.
Wow. Thanks, dude.
You look like a zombie. Yes, so we're all big Gears fans. There's been a lot of information recently released, and obviously Lemmings and BA, they had a chance to play the game. I don't even think we had a chance to really talk about that since then. I think BA, you came to the forecast, and then like the following week or so, that's when you guys went to Eurogamer. So you've actually had a chance to play the game, and I figured we're going to talk about it. But a lot of news that's been going about. I guess the big thing that we want to start out first is the removal of Down But Not Out. There's been a lot of uproar. I think when it was announced, there was a thread that was put on Epic Games, and in the matter of like a day, it's up to like 50 fucking pages. Like people just jump in there.
Oh, it's
so
bigger than that now.
Is it? Okay, I haven't looked
Yeah,
at it.
it's like 100 and something, I think now.
Okay, so yeah, just what are your thoughts that they're removing Down But Not Out from that game?
I don't know whether Lemmings will say the same thing, but having played it at Eurogamer, yeah, that's right, we played it at Eurogamer.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I'm big and bad. I'm fucking from Europe, and I get to go to Eurogamer.
Two Brutal Legends.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was over at PAX East a long time before it was Eurogame, so you had your chance, Stabby.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Haters gonna hate.
No. Don't worry, Stabby, to play it, you had to have an EP of about that big, but, you know. The movement and everything in it was quicker. Everything about it was just faster. The movement, the wall bouncing, just the general feel of it was a lot quicker. And I think in a game of that speed, putting in something like Down But Not Out just wouldn't necessarily work as well as it would in the other games.
Is it because it's closer quarters, maybe? Like, why doesn't it work as much? Do you think it would slow it down, or?
I think it would slow it down. I also think that for instance, you're emptying out your lancer on someone, and you're nailing them, and then you do enough shots for them to go down. Whilst they're going down, they're invincible for a short period of time, like they are in Black Ops, so, like it always was with Last Stand. And as they're going down, that kind of second, those couple of seconds are important in Judgment. They're not as important in the other games, but they are important in Judgment. I don't know, it just felt, to me, a lot of people are complaining about a lot of changes, but if they'd played the game with these kind of changes not being in place, I think they'd have massive trouble with a lot of the things that they haven't changed, if you know what I mean.
I think that's a big thing. I think Arctic was saying that as well. A lot of people are judging this game and have yet to play it. They're just going based on what they've seen, and it's hard to really truly judge the game. So I don't know. Lemmings, do you have the same overall opinion? Or?
Well, the thing that I've noticed this week, I mean, me and BA this week have been playing back through the campaigns of Gears 1 and Gears 2, and we've just got to Gears 3 last night. And between each game, there was a very distinct change in like the overall feel of the game, and I think that's just what it's going to be again with Judgment. I mean, from Gears 2 to Gears 3, it suddenly felt a lot faster, a lot tighter, a lot more coordinated. I'm pretty certain I played Judgment already. I think it's going to feel pretty much the same. A very similar match. Just a whole change in the speed and the handling of the game.
I'm kind of losing you a little bit. Is that just me?
No,
No, that was me as well.
We'll see if it gets a little better. I think my internet kind of came up. Could you repeat that last part again? You just said it's going to feel different. I think what you said is going to be, and I think you just froze.
I'm telling you,
no.
when BA froze before we started this up was absolutely. He was just like,
And there we go. And he's gone.
and he's gone too.
His
There goes
internet
Lemmings.
is always a bit. It's always a bit sketchy here and there. So
Let me try to re-invite him real quick. And while that's happening,
Yes, Virgo. The chat is being recorded this time, and now the call is on hold, and I'm all by myself. All by
oopsies,
myself.
I accidentally
Yeah, you put it on hold,
Yeah.
bastard.
Hey. It won't let me add him to the call. Can someone
So-
else add?
Or let me see.
So,
It shows that he's being added.
Oh, maybe because he still isn't officially out yet. That's why I can't add him in. So you were saying before, you actually feel like it's out of place with BA.
what's the down but not out?
Yeah.
It probably would be. If I don't know if you once you've played the game, I think once people have actually got their hands on the game and actually played it, they'll realise that a lot of the complaints aren't valid. They'd be valid if they were playing Gears 3, but it isn't Gears 3. It isn't a Gears game as you know it.
I think that's people's problem, though. They're like,
Yeah.
I want Gears, and then when you remove something iconic like Down But Not Out, it's like you take away part of the game.
Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of the things that's kind of the biggest problems. Even though I wasn't a big, I've never been a big fan of games. Oh, there he is. I've never been a big fan of games where you don't have respawn timers. But what made Gears so big with Gears 1 and Gears 2 was execution. The whole point was, down but not out. You'd have to shoot somebody, but then if you wanted to really finish them off, you got to finish them off with a shotgun or just get in close range. So it forced movement, and that was kind of an iconic game mode, and it's the competitive game mode for Gears for the last 3 titles. So to see that removed, that's for me, it's almost the same as like saying, okay, there's no more ADS in Call of Duty, because that's
Yeah, that would be. Well, we're just
It's-
going to revolutionize Call of Duty and not have you ADS at all.
like now I can understand definitely it might not work in the new game. It might not work like you're saying. It just doesn't feel like it, or it feels out of place to have it. It affects the overall pacing, but just something like that that's so integral to the original 3 titles. I could see why a lot of people are really upset. Now I know that the developers were saying that Gears 1 through 3, that was their own title, that was its own trilogy, and now we want to go. I don't want to say they want to go in a completely different direction, but this is our jumping off point for a new approach to the game.
Yeah.
And in some ways that's good, because I know a lot of people harp COD for being basically the same formula every year. So on one end, that has good potential. It could kind of, you were saying before the forecast, that it could bring in new people, it could bring more interest to the franchise. So on one end, that has potential. At the same time, though, it could alienate a lot of the hardcore fans. I don't know yet, I haven't played the game, but I could see why people are so upset about that and why that could be an issue. So I don't know. That one feature right there, and there's so many different aspects of it as well, not just like execution. I said I don't really like that game mode, but all the things you could do with it, like the meat, like King of the Hill, like surviving meat shield. That's a huge thing. Real quickly, one of the stats they said was like 3% of the community actually gets kills through executions when people are down but not out. Since I haven't talked to Stabby about this yet, what do you think about that?
What, the Down But Not Out, or the...
Well, the executions. Like, I mean, do you think... because that was one of the reasons they kind of said it was... one of the things they threw out to kind of explain why they removed Down But Not Out. Like, what do you think about that?
Personally, I think that's kind of like... It's kind of hard to gauge, because... To be honest, you don't have all the time in the world to always execute somebody. I mean, I do it a lot. At least I think I do. When I, down a guy, I'll go and curb stomp him for the ribbon. Or at the end of the game, you get a long execution in the face. Or every once in a while, you just do a cool little execution with a special weapon. But I don't think it's fair to say that they don't use it a lot, because if you've got 3 dudes running, you down one of them. Of course, you're not going to go over there and just punch his face in for 15 seconds. You're going to die. So I don't think it's fair to say we don't use it. So let's just take it out. I think.
Well, there's the other side of it as well that I guess highlights the issue that because you don't see executions, you only see them 3% of the time. When somebody does do an execution on you, it means that much more.
Yeah.
So you know that if you've gone absolutely like you've torn people up, completely torn them up, you're on like a 10 streak, a 15 streak, whatever, and then you know that when somebody gets you, even in the middle of the thick of the action, if they pull out the lancer and stick it in your chest, you know, oh shit, I think I pissed them off a little bit there.
Yeah.
It's like it means that much more because you've been executed, and that's what the execution should be. They shouldn't be run of the mill every time they should do it. And as long as there's still something in there that's the show off, it's the aggression reliever, it's something in there to say.
Well, it differentiates it from other titles as well. I mean, what other game? I mean, Halo has the assassinations, but they're not nearly as badass as what you can do in Gears.
Yeah.
So it's like a little cherry on top, or the icing on the cake. It's just something that you can't. Of course, you can't do it all the time, but I mean, when you do it, it's awesome. Also, another thing they said is, I don't know if they officially said that, but I've heard some people in the community that were trying to defend the removal. They said it got rid of trolling. What do you think about that?
It's
like the teabagging.
It's true in a way, because I mean that is a lot of the trolling from that point of view happens when you're down. So teabagging, people swinging smoke grenades in your face, BA, execution. Yeah, all of that happens when you're down but not out. So if you remove that, yeah, that's going to remove a lot of that.
I mean,
that's the fun of it.
But is it a problem for you guys? Like, do you care if you're getting teabagged in a game? Like, is it a big issue? Is it an issue enough to remove the feature?
Not really, no. Not when it's such a critical feature of the game. No,
Yeah.
I'll remove it just for that.
Yeah, especially when it's normally at the end of the game and it doesn't really change anything.
Yeah.
It's not like the fact that they're executing you is stopping you from respawning or something. It just means that you've got that 10 seconds where you're going to have to wait till the end of the round, and that's all. And it's that... I think there should always be something in a game that you can, do your thumb up to or the finger up to the person and say, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like most of the big games out right now, I don't know if you can do it. I imagine you can do it in StarCraft 2 as well, but like League of Legends, you have a taunt. Halo, you can do a little teabag. Well, I don't... Yeah, I think you can still see the person in there, and you have the voice chat. Even Call of Duty has that proximity revenge chat as well. So when they're watching the kill cam. Yeah,
it's nothing funnier to like kill somebody and then just hear "you motherfucker."
And I think that's even worse because people can say some pretty nasty stuff to you in that short little time frame. Yeah, but in Gears, I mean, it's just teabagging.
Yeah,
that's not a problem for me. So I haven't. I mean, you guys are the ones who played it. So and we haven't even had a chance to play it in other game modes because I know that they're tweaking game modes. They're putting out new game modes. So down but not out might not actually work. Like you said, it just kind of feels out of place. But
it's not. Remember, it's not. If there was a developer here, they would be shouting out left, right, and centre. It's not down but not out. It's something along the lines of down or dead and respawning, but still revivable, or something like that is what they're calling it. Basically, it's you're dead, but you haven't respawned yet. And if somebody happens to throw a stim grenade in your direction, then you will respawn. You will come back alive. You will be revived.
Yeah,
so it's like the Battlefield 3 thing with the
revive, the defib, and we'll get into that part a little later. But but the thing is, you could also use it. I guess the big thing is the meat shields for me. That's one of the bigger aspects. Or even still, like I mean, I guess if you have the stim pack, you can still do this. But it was kind of fun. Like if you happen to get into a 2-on-2. Or even a 1v2, and maybe your teammate gets downed, and he's sitting there and he's waiting. If this guy wins the gunfight, I get to get back up, or you do those chain revives where you manage to push people away or defend something. And like team deathmatch, I mean, you don't have that score limit. You have respawn limit, so your life is a little bit more valuable in those kind of situations. Yeah. So keeping people alive, even when they're down, was a big deal. It was fun. That aspect of the game was fun. And then, I mean, my favorite parts were the meat shields, where you're full red, you're getting ready to die, but you're trying to grab the hill. You down somebody, you pick them up, and then you get like a quick pistol kill, and you manage to save off the ring in situations like that. It doesn't happen all the time. Same with executions, but when it does, it's badass. It's moments that you can't get in other console games. So,
well, if you think about it, in those times now, when you normally have downed somebody, and then you're going to pick them up as a meat shield to protect you, you haven't downed them. You've killed them now.
yeah.
So you don't need to run it. Normally, if you'd have downed somebody, you run in and try and pick them up because you know you're under fire, and you know you want that person dead. So you run up and you pick them up. There's nothing more annoying than, I don't know whether it's the same for you guys, but you get the serial meat shielders that every single kill, no matter what's around them, they will pick it up.
Fucking David.
Yeah, exactly. Him in that
Well,
game.
I guess that's the other thing, is skill stealing. Because a lot of people, I noticed on the boards, people said about that. For me, my mentality is, especially in Gears of War, it's wins win. Because I like how there's teamwork, like that. That's why I like that game so much. Teamwork, working together to get the win. So if somebody takes my kill, don't care. It's at the end of the day, if it leads to the win, that doesn't really bother me. Sometimes I'm sure I've complained about it in the past, but by and large, that's not a huge deal. But yeah, so I don't know. Do you guys have a positive feeling about it, or negative, or you just kind of don't know until you play the game?
I think they've done it for a reason. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, having played Bulletstorm and completely rinsed the hell out of it, I pretty much do trust People Can Fly as a developer. Bulletstorm was very, very tight. It was very, 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 very well made, and I think they're going to take what Epic did with Gears 3 and just polish it up that little bit more, just make it that little bit better. And all these changes that they're making are just going to be contributions towards that, I think, at the end of the day.
Oh, so okay, maybe I'm confused. So who's doing the multiplayer? Is it People Can Fly, or is it
Epic's doing the multiplayer.
Okay.
But it's like anything else. They're going to be talking to each other.
Okay, I see what you're saying. They're putting that polish, because Bulletstorm was a pretty fun game. It actually was hilarious. I do think if they took what they did with the single player, like how they approached that single player, then the Gears of War single player, or Gears of War Judgment single player, could be pretty awesome. Especially with the character like Bard, who's kind of tongue in cheek and kind of a jackass. Oh my God. That fits the bullets. Baird, whatever.
Baird here.
Baird.
Isn't Bard like a medieval kind of guy that plays a lute or something like that?
There you go.
Yes, I'm Bard. What's up, guys? I'm Bard. Fucking God,
I can't repair your vehicle, but I can sing you a little bit of a tune.
There we go. Anyways, he would fit very well.
Beard here.
That's a better name, anyways. Beard here.
Beard.
Okay. So other things we want to talk about. Spawn timers.
Okay, it's all cool. I didn't want to talk about the whole.
Go ahead.
Trolling.
Sure. Sick boy.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? No, I just don't.
Go on, have your 15 minutes of faves, Stabby. Go on.
Okay, 15 minutes. Give me 15 minutes. Okay, so basically, if you get your panties in a bunch because some dude humped you or teabagged you or swung a smoke in your face, like if you get that upset about it, you probably shouldn't be playing the game. I think you're just here comes the toot. I can't believe I just did that. I was so sick. No, but I don't know. I never had a problem with that. I know Psycho has. Fucking man, he's teabagging me. Oh, you're helping me. I've killed you 7 times and you've only killed me once. Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, Psycho still plays the game, so that's just the way it is.
I just don't see the problem with it. Is all I was trying to say.
Yeah. I don't think it's a big deal.
It's a non-issue.
Just have to wait and see the game and the new game modes. Other thing, spawn timers. I actually didn't like how the spawn timers worked in Gears of War 3. I didn't like that wave respawn. I like the fact that it was delayed, because obviously if you make a push for, like, say, the King of the Hill, then you don't have people instantly respawning and fighting you all over again. That's one of the problems I have with Domination in Call of Duty, or even with the King of the Hill in Call of Duty, although Black Ops 2, or not King of the Hill, Hardpoint. The fact that there's a respawn timer, it really puts that much more emphasis on you get kills, and that helps to play the objective. Problem, though, is sometimes you'll kill somebody, they respawn in a second. Other times they respawn in 15 seconds. It's always based on that 15-second timer.
It wasn't ever that was the biggest problem for me. It was when you were kind of in a position and then the whole team would spawn at the same time. Because in Gears, you can't take out, well, most of the time, 90% of the time, you can't take out more than 2 or 3 guys at once. Mm-hmm. And if 5 of them spawn and rush you, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very easy
there's no getting around that.
Yeah. So At first, at the beginning, I heard they were getting rid of that, and I thought they were going to do something like Halo, where it takes 5 to 6 seconds for each person to respawn every time. Now, though, it looks like you were explaining to me that, and seeing from Free For All, that you can instantly respawn, but there's kind of a catch to that. Do you want to go into a little more detail?
Yeah. Well, it's back to that down, but oh wait, what is it? It's down and respawning, but still revivable thing that they keep on trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's something like that. It's a four-letter acronym, but I can't remember what it is. But effectively, when you die, you get like you would normally. You see the person who's killed you, but you don't actually see. It's not a kill cam, but you see the person who
Like
killed
right
you.
after.
And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you get an option of pressing Y now to respawn. Now, if you press that Y, it skips to the spawn countdown. Whether you've got one or not, I imagine that there's going to be some game types that have got it, some game types that don't.
Okay.
Something like a King of the Hill-esque, we'll talk about that in a bit. But in Free For All, for instance, it'll be instantaneous. In that, there will be a delay. But the point is, when you choose to press that Y button, you're effectively saying, yes, I'm dead. I'm ready to respawn.
Okay.
If you don't press that Y button, then your body is still ragdolling on the floor, and there is a chance that somebody will be able to throw a stim grenade and revive you. So therein lies the communication that you've got to speak to people and say, is there anybody around me with the stim grenade? No? Right, okay, I'm going to die.
Now, I mean, have you guys have used the stim grenade already in Overrun?
I think in Overrun it was always instant kills. So when you go full red, you get killed, and the stim grenade just heals you. So if you
No, it revives as well. It revives as
Really?
well.
I
Yeah.
didn't get that.
Yeah, when we were playing it, the problem that we had was because it was so new, and because there was every class has a power, even the locust. For instance, the soldier gives out ammunition, which, however many times I ran up to Biotan, who was playing with us, and said, "I'm out of ammo." I ran out of ammo with the long shot, ran out of ammo with my pistol, ended up meleeing a Serapede to death, and still he wouldn't throw down any ammunition for me. So I think everybody was kind of getting used to it. So I think the people who played as medic wasn't me or Lemmings, and weren't really using the stem grenades.
Oh.
Maybe he was just trolling. Maybe he was just like, "Fuck you, I want MVP once in a while."
So I'm just curious. Somebody's got a little butthurt in
Mine.
So you guys don't really know how difficult it is to revive, because I mean, it seems like it might not even be a guaranteed if you overthrow it or something. Like how do they work?
If you look on the, there was a thread that I made in the forum. That down somewhere down there, I posted a link to the recent videos. There's one of Overrun, and twice in that, I think when the guy's playing as a medic, he gets a revive, and basically, it's just like a grenade, and it's got imagine kind of the kind of width radius of a flame grenade insta kill.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the radius that you've got to get a heal. I mean, there's one point when he throws the grenade and it doesn't hit the guy, but it's close, and he revives him. It's like.
So then still it's not a guaranteed revive. No. Huh. Yeah, I'm not
I'm not really liking this game.
don't really know I like that feature.
I think the thing is, if you give people a choice, because they're going to have the choice of 6 grenades to begin with,
Wait.
Oh, it's testing.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought they were going to like 6
no,
frags. I was like, what the
No.
fuck?
You've got the smoke grenade, you've got the frag grenade, you've got the
Oh,
ink
6
grenade, you've
grenades,
got
one
the
of
beacon
each.
grenade, beacon grenade, you've
What
got
does that
the
do?
stim grenade, and the flame grenade, I believe, is a pickup because they figured out that it's very, very powerful, apparently.
Frags aren't.
Frags have been nerfed.
Okay.
They're
what does
about
the
half
beacon
the blast
grenade do?
radius now.
The beacon grenade, it's sort of a scanner. You throw it down at a point and it reveals any enemy in its radius, even through walls.
God.
Not
Oh
sure
my
what-
god. Epic, no.
I know.
Oh.
I'm trying to keep an open mind. I really am.
Yeah, but think about it this way: when you actually use it, most of the time you can already hear where the person is anyway. I mean, how many times in Gears do you play and you don't know where somebody is?
Just sitting behind a corner waiting for you. I did that a bunch of you the other day, actually.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, that was one of the problems I heard about from people that are kind of, I guess, more casual. They're like, Gears is just a bunch of people camping, getting ready to shoot you around the corner. So I don't know. I guess the beacon would kind of alleviate that problem. I don't know how powerful it is. I've never seen it in action, so I don't know. If
I used it in Overrun, and it's really not all that.
I figured it wouldn't be very powerful. It'd probably be like the sensor grenade in Black Ops 2. Nobody uses
Yeah.
it, so I mean,
Yeah, I don't think anybody will use it. It's got a radius and it has its uses, but I mean, you know how people at the moment plant frags or plant smoke grenades so they know when somebody's coming through a. Now that planting on walls is kind of being removed, that's going to be the thing that replaces it. I think.
They remove that completely. There's no more plants.
No.
Oh, nice.
yeah, there's no plans.
You can plant on people, but to do it, you've got to walk up to them holding LB and press B.
That's kind of a pain, but I mean that's not a big for me. I didn't use it that often, so yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because it was kind of I mean I like that aspect of being able to plant them to kind of cover yourself, especially if you're playing solo. Sometimes you just need something to cover your ass. But at the same time, if you were within, like if the enemy was using it against you and you hear the little beacon going off, 99% of the time I'm going to die, even if I'm far away. Even if I start to roll instantly, I'm still within blast radius and I die. So it's almost like you're screwed. Unless you just happen to be in a really good position where you can roll behind cover or something like that. So it really kind of killed the pacing sometimes using that. It was a really easy kill, I guess, to say. So I'm fine with them taking that out.
Yeah, I was actually at first, like, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh man, that's bad. That's real bad. And then I thought about Blood Drive, and I went, never mind, fuck that. See ya. Because
You want to know what triggered it? You know, want to know what triggered it? One of the moderators, or not one of the moderators, one of the developers was saying that initially they had it so that you could tap it onto walls, and it was the same button configuration that you could before.
Yeah.
They said within a couple of games they removed it because they went into a game and everybody starts with a frag. So those 10 planted planted nades at the start of a round.
Yeah, I could see why they.
See, from that point of view, it does make sense. But at the same time, you know, it's been a part of it. It was what, Gears 2 they introduced planting on the walls.
So I mean, what do you guys think about the fact that you can start with a frag grenade?
I like that from a certain point of view. I mean, how many people really use smokes?
It's nice in certain situations. Like
I'm trying to think of how I used them. And I guess that's a good point. I'm trying to think how I used them.
Every time I think about it, I think about Blood Drive and people camping. And now instead of having 2 frag grenades, you have 5, essentially. So you know your teammate, because I'm counting your teammates as well. So there's a dude camping there. You throw one close to him, and then you have your teammate throw one farther back, and wherever he rolls, he's fucked. I mean, of course they're nerfed, but who knows?
I'm watching the chat. Just people in the chat, especially Cambo. Don't suddenly think that this is going to be the world's worst thing. Once you've actually played it, honestly, it kind of makes sense. There's spawning with a frag. Yes, it sounds like ridiculous, but the frags are nerfed to fuck. You're talking about it's got to be right on top of them or stuck to them, because you can stick them with a grenade, but I mean the chances of doing that are very slim. It's one of those. It's really not been Call of Duty.
That's something I hear a lot. A lot of people saying Gears of Duty or Call of War.
Well, they were saying that, to be honest, in Gears 3. They were like, this is fucking Gears of Duty, Call of Gears or something, and it's just
And then Gears 3 turned out to be, in my opinion, the best of the trilogy. I think.
Yeah,
I'd still rather play Gears 3 than either of the other 2.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I've been saying on the forums. The people, I mean, Gears of War 3, I've kind of been harping on about it for the last year and a half. And it is the best game, and anybody that has any other opinion is wrong. But I love that game. But would I prefer to see a Gears of War 3.5, or would I prefer to see a brand new game made from Epic that's in the Gears universe? I'll pick the second one. If it's crap, if it is awful, I can go back to Gears 3.
That's true. Problem though is how many people are going to go back.
You can go back to the 5 people playing that game.
Yeah, how many people are going to go back and play that?
At least they have bots.
Yeah.
At least you can bot slay for days.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling in the long run I'll probably end up sticking with Gears 3, but I'm not. For all the things I've heard about Judgment so far that I don't like, it's not going to put me off, because at the end of the day, it is my main franchise on the Xbox. It's essentially what I bought my Xbox for.
That's the only thing.
I'm not.
The Mass Effect
It's not
nerd in you is very angry right now.
Gears is the only reason I'm going to stay on console. That's it. There's nothing on
Yeah.
console keeping me there. If there's a game that I can play on PC, I'm going to stay on PC. Other than that, like one of the things that I don't think people talk about, but I wish it was highlighted more. All the shooters out there, all the competitive games out there, have auto aim. Just because you have the controller, it's a lot harder for that granularity of control versus a mouse and keyboard. So if you play Halo, if you play Call of Duty, any of those big AAA first-person shooters, you need that little sticky aim in order for it to work. I don't think Gears has any auto aim at all, does it? I've never noticed
limited.
it. It's minuscule, like it's tiny, if anything. Maybe for the Lancer or the Hammer Burst, but I've never noticed it. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's part of
No,
it.
No, I don't think it has any at all. To come to think of it, no.
And to me, that speaks, and it's a competitive multiplayer game, and to me, it speaks like it's perfect for consoles.
God,
It's
Weedy's gay. Shotgun dancing. I was shotgun dancing with some guy.
I don't even believe Wheaties played the game. I've seen him
Wheaty
play
is a
Gears
beast.
3 like once.
Wheaty's
yeah.
a beast.
So I mean, it's just it kind of sucks because like any shooter I'd prefer to play on PC. Even COD, even Halo. If Halo's on PC, Halo 4, that's probably all I'll play. But Gears, I think, is actually perfectly suited for console. It fits the controller perfectly. And it just works out really well. So
There's no way to play that on PC. Could you imagine trying to wall bounce?
yeah, it'd be horrible. Like it's actually, I actually
have a
think it's,
spasm.
I actually think it's the perfect game for consoles, at least for like
Yeah.
competitive multiplayer. I mean, I know Halo's kind of king.
I actually think, I mean, I'm probably going to end up building myself a PC next year, finally. And I think I might actually pick up Gears 1 on PC, just out of pure
Just to try
curiosity.
it? Yeah.
See what it's
You know
like,
what?
yeah.
I think I'll do the same thing. Actually,
I might,
After
yeah.
this- after
Yeah,
this
we'll do
cast,
that.
I'll probably
We'll
go
do
buy it.
that. You should stream it.
No.
For,
PC noobs.
PC
wait,
news.
PC noobs?
Oh,
The title of this should be Gears Fat Power. Okay, so when it gets sent to YouTube, Bernie, make sure you title it
Gears Fat Power.
Gears Fat Power.
Yep.
I mean, on the Twitch page, I gotta say we talk Gears Judgment, and it says we're playing Gears of War Judgment. So
There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. What else?
Forecast 10, also known as Gears Fat Power.
yeah.
Okay, the other thing, initially I heard about this and I thought it was pretty awesome, but the more I've heard about it, the less happy I am to hear about it. But the change of the control scheme. Initially, I liked it because you had a dedicated button to change your weapons. Problem is now it seems like there's only 2 weapons. What did you say, Stabby?
No, that I'm reading Greg's PS3,
Yeah.
PC, Wii, Game Boy Color,
I think
Xbox.
Subi might have been born under power lines or something. Like,
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
something clearly wrong with him.
So you
He
have
thinks
two.
the PS3 is a console.
Yeah, no, it's a giant Blu-ray device.
It's a
of
giant
course.
Blu-ray.
Yes, exactly.
Netflix streaming device.
It's cold in my house, and if I want to warm things up, I just turn on the PlayStation. So what do you guys think about the changes in the control schemes?
See, I actually like that. I was skeptical about it at first, but having played it a Eurogamer, I found it quite easy to adapt to, and it didn't. One of my biggest problems, I've got massive hands, so I tend to slip and switch weapons in the middle and fight a lot. I'll like
Which is
firing
brilliant
a
to
shotgun
watch.
around. Yeah, firing a shotgun around, then all of a sudden I'll switch to my smoke grenade, and yeah. So I found it quite easy to adjust to, and it is.
Jesus, Virgo.
It,
Keep it in
Have you
his
seen
hands.
it works better than I thought it should.
Are you reading the? I was going to say, I mean, you're kind of breaking up. But the number one thing I got out of that was massive hands.
Yeah, it was like, I've got massive hands. And then Virgo's like,
Just-
oh,
you
massive
just,
hands,
yeah.
you say. Tell me more.
Yeah, and it's taking a bit of shit at the moment.
So it was easy for you to, but it was easy for you.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, the only problem that I found with the weapon control scheme is that when you run into a fight, you see somebody with a lancer out, you run in thinking, right, I'm going to get in close, I'm going to finish them off, and they've got the shotgun out, and this is in overrun. So the Grenadiers had I think it was a lancer and a shotgun. So you run in, you think, right, I'm going to get in close, and they switch to a Nasher instantly. But apart from that, I think what Arctic put it perfectly. Once you played the new control scheme, you think the other one's a bit outdated and a bit clunky.
And you also said that it was just crisper, like the wall bouncing just
Yeah.
worked better. So
Yeah.
it's so I like all that stuff in terms of ease of control, but the problem that I have with it, and this is one of the things the developer said, is they changed the loadouts because of it. You have
Yes.
a primary and a secondary, because obviously if you don't want to cycle through 3 weapons with the Y button, you only want to cycle between 2. The problem I have with that is you don't have both weapons anymore. You don't have two primaries. You can't play both long range and close range. You either have to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about that?
I was actually watching a Modded Talents video, and he said it perfectly. It's like it's like doing the opposite of what they said. Like I forget, I don't know if it was Quinn or Pete Nub or somebody, but somebody from Epic said the Gears Judgment is going to play the way you want to play it, and he's like, it seems like the complete opposite because now I have to choose whether I want to be support or a rusher. I can't do both. I can't adapt in the middle of it. I mean, of course you can change your class, but like sometimes there's just not time. Like, you know, there's times where it calls for your Lancer and there's times when it calls for your Nasher. And not being able to choose between the two, or not being able to have both at the start, I think just restricts the gameplay even more than it should. Now, if there's a class with them both, it'll probably be the only thing used.
Well, I think he mentioned like if you could drop the pistol and have two primaries, then it works, and you just like get rid of the pistol. And I kind of agreed with that point.
Well, this is the point that I was scared stupid. This was the one change that I kind of thought, okay, this is kind of game breaking. Not game breaking, because I played it and realised that there's a lot of stuff that have changed because it wouldn't work on the new game. But this was kind of one of those things that's scary to a Gears vet until I thought about it kind of a bit differently. How many times do people run for the Scorcher on Old Town?
Not many.
If you start with a Lancer, that may be your first stop. I think there's a lot of weapons and there's a lot of things that are going to be picked up to make holes in the loadout that wouldn't normally happen. I mean, you run for a power weapon, normally you switch it out for either your Lancer or
your shotgun.
Yeah. And you're already down to a power weapon and another gun. I just think that it's going to mean that people run the power weapon where they're going to have to go into a one-on-one to try and fight for it, or do they go for a lesser power weapon and fill the gap in the loadout?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people are going to do.
Well, after the Scorcher buff, I went for it.
Yeah.
And when that thing got buffed, that thing was overpowered as fuck.
It was.
Strong.
Yeah, definitely the most underrated weapon in the game.
Yeah.
I think what happened was it was so weak in the beginning, and then people that didn't really follow the boards didn't see the buff, so
and then when they got killed by it, they were like, what the fuck? Like, why is it killing me?
Came out of nowhere. Yeah, there's a couple problems I have with that. One, I mean, obviously, Stabby was talking about before, and it's exactly what I thought when I guess whoever said it, you could play however you want. No, well, yeah.
I want to play both. Let me play both. Yeah.
Like, and sometimes you have these like tactical kind of situations, like say I'm pushing up, I'm crossing somebody, and then somebody wants to push, or maybe I want to push, like maybe I'm doing some pot shots, and then I just want to real quickly smoke and push them and go into a shotgun battle or something like that. You can't do that. You have to pick one extreme or the other. And I think what you were saying was his name Chris or Modded Talent. Mm-hmm. He was saying one possible solution is just get rid of pistols altogether because they got rid of Bolt Hog, and I think they got rid of the what is it called? No,
they didn't. The Gorgon. No, they haven't.
It's still there?
Yeah, that's been confirmed. There is not one single weapon that was in Gears 3 that apparently is not in Gears Judgment as it stands at the moment.
Did they say multiplayer or did they say Gears Judgment? Because I can see it being in the campaign, but...
They've said Gears Judgment, but the context was very much in a multiplayer sense.
Okay, well then, I guess one of the solutions, though, was get rid of the pistol slot and have two primaries. Although that could be... with all the different options for primaries now, like you have that sniper rifle.
The Markstone.
Yeah.
That could be problematic. And since
do you think?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Did you see the free-for-all video where they picked up a Markstone briefly and failed so bad with it because a lot of it was close quarters and that thing just doesn't work?
I felt like that thing was overpowered or could be overpowered because it looked like he was getting headshots and two headshots. So
it's a Bolt Hog. It's like a Bolt Hog.
Yeah, pretty much.
With a giant scope on it.
And it doesn't have it's slightly faster than the standard shots for the Bolt Hog, but it's not as fast as the active reload Bolt Hog. So it's kind of in between, which I guess that's fine. It's not a big deal. But I still thought the Bolt Hog was a power weapon. And if you're good with it, you're really good with it. I mean, if you know what you're doing. So we'll see how that goes. But I just don't like the fact that you don't have as much kind of steps. Yeah, I mean, you just can't switch it up like you normally used to before.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think you'll see a lot of people running Nasher and pistol and using the pistol like they use the Lancer at the moment.
I was just about to say that. I was like, I'm going to go Nasher loadout only and use the pistol as the Lancer. And then, when I run out of Nasher ammo, or if I, assuming I can swap my pistol for somebody's primary, switch it out. But
The only thing I'd say with that is I'm not sure if this has been confirmed or not, but the Nash is now only going to have 8 shots to start with as well.
That's confirmed in that build.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's hardly any ammo. What was it originally?
But
Gears?
that was in a free-for-all game, and in that free-for-all game, there was plenty of boxes of ammo lying around.
That's right. I did see that a lot in the free-for-all game. So I guess it is possible. Do you? I guess you can't pick up natural ammo though from people if they're not carrying it, right? Like if they don't have it out. So it's going to be really your primary source of getting ammo is those ammo boxes, unless you run into somebody else who's carrying the Nasher.
I do
Which
kind of look like a chemo patient, actually. Fucking random.
You know what? I was actually just looking, and I was like, yeah, I can kind of see that.
God,
You just got to lose the eyebrows, and then
Yeah.
the other thing I kind of noticed is it seems like if you have to pick loadouts for teams that know what they're doing, if you have a group of 5 and they're all coordinating with one another, then you're going to have maybe like 3 people that are long distance, like Lancer, Rifleman, and maybe 2 people that are Shotgun Nasher guys. And if they're all working together, that's going to, I'm sure, work out very well. But if you're running into groups of randoms, you might have a full team all running rifles, or you might have a full team. You don't have a good team composition because you no longer have the ability to pick, those 2 different primaries. And I can see people potentially getting even more steamrolled than before. Like if everybody picks like the same weapon class or something like that, and I can see that being problematic because I know a lot of people. We were talking about. People knew the franchise. They're playing against people that are veterans, and they're just getting destroyed. What's going to happen when, at the very least, you had the option of picking long and short range. So if you're having problems, you can sit in the back, and if you can push. But now you might have a full team all picking the same thing, or a bad composition, and it just goes. You can get steamrolled even more. So that's another. I don't know if it's going to happen. That's something I kind of thought could be a possibility. That this thing could become more mismatched.
In the chat, they're talking about does the ammo box work for boom shots? As far as I'm aware, this isn't in stone, but it doesn't work for picked up power weapons. All of them. There's some weapons. For instance, if you were to pick up if there was a hammer burst on the map as a pickup weapon, if you picked up that, I think you'd get the ammo for it. But things like boom shots, I don't think it does.
Okay.
Yeah, could you imagine that? I'd imagine ammo boxes spawn quicker than boom. So.
You just camp the ammo box, wouldn't you, with a boom shot?
Do you guys know if pickup weapons are going to be after pickup default or after use default? Do you know? Probably after pickup.
They were after use.
Pickup, I believe.
I have a feeling that they're going after pickup because just.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You mean after?
Like
after they've been picked up, there's like a 2-minute.
I'm sorry.
And then they respawn.
30 seconds.
Yeah, that one. That one.
So how they did in Gears 3.
Yeah. I want it to be after pickup 2 minutes after you pick it up.
It's after pickup. It is after pickup at the moment.
It is.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I like that.
Sweet. I like that. The one thing I like. You.
Everything else.
Fuck it, I'm buying this game now. Just give me the game.
Just because of that. We kind of touched base on it already. But the nades, how you can have different nades, and the fact that we're probably not going to see smoke grenades anymore. I mean, you guys.
There's no use for them. I mean.
I'll run smoke grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use it.
Like to swing them in people's faces. That doesn't count.
The only
smoke grenades are awesome. You've got a sniper watching. You're trying to pick up a long shot. You throw a smoke grenade down. You get the free pickup.
Do you know how many times I've been still shot in the head with the smoke up? People know where the fucking head is gonna be, so they just like right
there. So I mean, I feel like I don't know. We've kind of talked about it before. I guess since they're nerfed, it's not going to be a big deal. But I think smokes might die out. I mean, there might be applications to use them, but I think by and large, you're going to run into a lot more people. You're going to run into more people using frags than people using smokes. And then you said flame grenades are pickups. You can't select that. Okay.
What about inks? Do we know anything about them?
Inks are
because they don't stun anymore, right?
No, well they don't stun. They're area of effect, and I believe they've got kind of a poison aspect to them as well. There's damage that sits and it stops you from regaining your health.
Oh, that's kind of cool, I guess.
I think.
Yeah. I know a lot of people hated the stun aspect of the ink grenades.
Because it was too powerful. Like, I mean, it was like either it worked all the time, or it just didn't work, or it like worked from too far away, or it didn't work. It was very inconsistent.
It was yeah, that's true.
And you can avoid it if you rolled. But like, there's times that like I've stunned people, and it feels like, or when people stun me, it feels like I've been there for like forever, and they just walk and give me. And then there's times where like I throw it at them, and then like 2 seconds later they're walking off. Like,
yeah,
no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I haven't heard this at all. Have you guys heard if they've adjusted the matchmaking to incorporate skill? Because I mean that's one of the things.
No,
not even heard about whether ranked's in or what that situation is.
Random says I look homeless, which I've actually heard that a lot.
From who?
Just friends.
Oh, do people in North Carolina not have beards or something? Is that where I should move to?
Well, when I have like long, unkept hair with the scruffy beard.
So we've got Stabby that looks like he's fresh out of hospital after some treatment. That looks homeless. Seriously.
I'm going to break out the werewolf mask again at this point.
Lemming says the werewolf mask. We'll see. I lost my train of thought because of my scruffy beard. I mean, that was another problem. That was another problem with Gears 3, I think, too, was they created way too many playlists. Eventually, there's like 50 Like I'm exaggerating.
30. There's like about 30.
There's like that's not even far off. There's like the standard. I don't even think they changed that DLC thing, right?
No,
like I think that's standard now. So there's like 6 or 7 from there, and then there's the standard playlists, and it kind of fractures it. Then there's ranked.
Yeah, and then there's
on
ranked.
top of it. So
I think everything should be ranked. I really do. I think it should all be ranked, and you can have private matches. Like Gears 1 private matches, kind of.
I don't think casual players will want that. They don't want to look at Call of Duty. Like they.
Well, no, I mean I'm not.
I don't want to talk about this shitty game, but look at not only are people are so crazy about having action in the game that Black Ops 2 changed all the wait times to be like TDM Express from Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Instead of being a minute between matches, it's now 30 seconds.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I mean, it's people are not going to wait because in Gears 3 ranked, it's you pair everybody up. Then you wait to get ranked or get paired, and that takes a minute. Then there's like the full minute before the match actually starts because you have to vote for the maps, get your stuff set up, and then the game starts. And people don't want to wait a minute. Or actually, it's like 3 minutes. So I just don't see that working as well. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I meant like streamline it.
I can see it going into kind of a Call of Duty type lobby.
Honestly, I kind of like that because sometimes you get dropped into games and you'll play teams that are good. I mean, it kind of died out at the end, but you'll run into teams even in the quick match mode, and you might lose to them the first time. You get an opportunity to play them again, or you play them a couple of times. In ranked, you get one shot, and then it's really it. You don't really see them again. So I like that aspect actually, and it got to the point now. At least when I was playing Zeta, you couldn't even play ranked Zeta King of the Hill. The only option was quick match. So I do want them to put it to one playlist instead of separating them out. But how they want to go about doing it, I don't know. I prefer the streamlined version. I would like skill-based matchmaking though. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Stabby.
Sorry, I was reading chat. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of talking, so I was like.
I understand the chemo is affecting you. You're losing your mind.
They're all talking about how much we can lift, but I'm pretty sure in Gears we all carry all you lot. So. Ooh.
Damn. EP smack in the face. Another thing. Okay, I guess we're done with the skill-based matchmaking. Unless there's anything Stabby wants to add.
If they had just redone Gears 3 and made it Zeta 3, I'd have played the hell out of that. Yeah.
What did you guys think of Zeta? I'm just curious.
I don't think I ever actually played it, come to think of it.
Blasphemy!
I think, for me, when I played Zeta, it wasn't so much the changes, it was the community that were playing it. Were very much the old community they ran in with in Asher anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't see much lancering, and I didn't see much of the no stopping power, just because most of the people playing it were playing it because they don't like the stopping power, so they were predominantly Nasher players, so they were running it with a Nasher anyway. So
I enjoyed it.
I still use the Lancer, but yes,
it
was mostly. But then again, that game is mostly shotguns and retro, which is not a shotgun. So
See, I mean, I'm terrible with a regular Lancer anyway, and well, until last night, I thought I was terrible with Hammerburst as well. But so yeah, I never really tried it. I never really had any motivation to try it out.
Do they still have it? Is it still there?
No,
I think so.
What's that?
Was it not?
I thought it got removed for Alpha.
I don't know. Let's not talk about the evil things.
There was so many.
So many playlists. That was the problem. There's too many playlists.
Way too many.
They're aware of that problem. They are aware of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, because they got rid of fucking Warzone and Execution.
Yeah,
so there's two gone. See you. And those are like, well, I would.
Execution's the bread and butter, but we'll see how that goes. No more Locust, which is half what you're saying, is it was half confirmed, half not confirmed.
Yeah.
So there's apparently the rumor is that there's red cog and blue cog. It's not red cog or cog versus Locust. So you want to elaborate on that?
You can hear me. Yeah, the sound's got a bit weird in my headphones. Yeah. It's so far all that they've talked about in everything that the playtesters or that the developers have talked about is the mode that they've announced and talked about. That is all that they have talked about. They have not mentioned anything else. They will not mention anything else. They've said that multiple times. Now, there was an article that was released, very officially wrote. It looks to me like the author may have just glossed over a couple of things and made some assumptions, but in there it says that the Locust... the fans didn't like playing as Locust, so they've removed it and put it now as Cog versus Cog, which is red versus blue, effectively. That hasn't... All that the speculation is on at the moment is one image, which is of a red Cog against a blue Cog. Can't remember which characters are now.
I think it was a red bed and blue Sophia.
Yeah, that'll be the one. Yeah, and they've got this article. Now, nothing really says that it's definitely going to be the case in all the modes at the moment. They're releasing a podcast addressing it. It's probably going to be the case, but it's not 100% confirmed yet.
So, what do you guys think? Are you happy?
I think that's a mistake.
Gutted.
Like I said on the forum, the whole red versus blue thing works for Halo because all the characters are
the same.
They're all masked, they're all anonymous. Yeah. In Gears, you play, even in multiplayer, you're playing as characters who you see the personalities, you've got an attached to them, you pick your favourites, and then seeing them like in different colours on opposite teams, it just doesn't work. The whole idea of it just sounds wrong.
Well, real quickly, playing devil's advocate, I'll include his video in the description of this, but Modded Talent was saying that all the COG characters had personalities, or he kind of went along those lines. Like, all of them have their different catchphrases, all the different things they can say. And you also played in the campaign, so I imagine you can kind of develop a little bit of relationship.
Only a few Locusts.
But there's only a couple Locusts, and they don't really say anything. They don't have the same kind of, I guess, connection that you would like COG players. So I can kind of see how they went with that. How maybe people said they preferred playing COG. Maybe that's how they got that.
Yeah.
Instead of saying they don't like playing Locust.
I think with the
Go ahead.
Oh shit! I'm breaking up a bit.
I can see in the long run it's going to be an aesthetic change and probably not all that important. But
yeah, it's not. I mean, if the gameplay and the mechanics are fun, it's not the end of the world. But I don't have a problem playing against the Locust or being the Locust. I enjoy that variety.
Yeah, same.
So I mean, I liked it. I can understand where people might be coming from, but the entire time I played Gears, I never mentioned or never heard anyone say, "Man, we're the Locust."
That's part of like what I was wondering about when he was like, we talked with competitive players and they don't like playing as Locust or something like that. It was worded like that nobody likes playing as Locust, and I was just like, whoever had a problem with it. Like, I liked playing as Locust.
Never heard anyone say that.
I've liked playing as a Locust. I felt like it's not like they didn't lack personality, because I didn't really care. I mean, Cole was the only COG I really liked, so there was Cole, and then there was General Rom, or Ram, as some people like to call him.
So you're the reason that we got about 16 skins for Cole, then?
I am the reason. I love that guy, Gabe.
I think you and everyone else.
Big Gay Steven. No,
I do think I like that character, but I think it's a bit much.
It's true. He's got the superstar Cole. He's got the Cole classic Cole.
Thrashball
Cole.
Yeah.
There might be another one, but yeah.
So I don't know.
They should have had an Afro Cole. How fucking awesome would have that been? Just
just
like
another
80s Cole or something.
dress up your Barbie Cole. Yeah,
That's racist. No, that's true. It should be awesome. I'd play.
I don't want to. I don't really want to see the removal of the locust, but like you said, BA, it's cosmetic, so it's not the end of the world if they take.
It kind of felt like, because like the whole game you're fighting the locust in the story, and then online you go and you fight the locust. Like it feels like you had a sense of purpose. Now you're gonna be fighting the locust because I'd imagine anyway, because it's like 15 days, or like a week or so after.
It's a month after E-Day, I believe.
And that's when the for those who don't know, E-Day is Emergence Day, when the locust came out of the ground and started attacking Sarah.
Or tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, or tonight.
I'm going to Lemming's house because he's got the retro, so he'll be able to fight off the locust horde.
But anyway, I assume that you're gonna be fighting those guys. So then you're gonna take that. You're gonna play the campaign, and then you're gonna go online and not fight locusts. It's just like,
Yeah.
You can't pull I have the
it?
personality thing for my character, and then want to kill your character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like you don't want to be
Yeah.
I love Cole, and then kill a team of Cole. Like it's just
I'm just worried.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Cole, I mean.
a team of Anyas against a team of Anyas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, can you imagine?
It's, I don't really like
as long
that
as it's
move.
not Sam.
See, that's the thing. It's the symbolism of it. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you spend the whole game fighting locusts, and you go into multiplayer and you fight humans. It's just like, why? What is the point of doing that?
I mean, that's kind of going like a lot of their changes when they say that they want to stamp their mark on it. It's like it doesn't feel like it's new or innovative. At least a lot of the stuff I've heard of. A lot of this stuff seems like it's removal of things instead of. I'm not hearing a lot of here's a new feature. Really, the new features I've heard
Overrun.
is Overrun. When we'll get. And the change in the control scheme. There's FFA, but that's not a new game mode. FFA is like the original multiplayer competitive mode. So most of the things I've heard of are removal of things. So it doesn't seem very new and innovative. And they want to put their stamp on it, but it just doesn't. I don't know. A lot of things just don't really jive with me right now. I mean, the game could be amazing. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
That's a wait and see.
Wait and play it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll have to see about that. What else do we need? Oh, new game modes. Or actually, no. A lot of people have been crying about the game's going to be a rifle fest because they were. I guess they were watching the videos. At first, I thought that the rifles killed faster, but I think that's just because Arctic was saying there was no downs anymore. So normally you just get downed anyways. So a lot of people are saying way too many rifles in the game now. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it'll be easier to rush with the Nasher. There's no stopping power. I think a lot of people are going to be like, "Yo, this is going to be Rifle Fest. I'm not playing this game." And then they're eventually going to get the game, and they're going to play it and go. They're going to start with rifles because they're going to be like, "Oh, this is all this game's going to be about," and then they're going to switch to the Nasher and go, "Wow, there's no stopping power." Because I saw a post. It was actually on. I know we talked about him a lot. It'd been awesome to actually get him to come on here, but Modded Talent's video. I seen somebody post. They were like, "So let me get this straight. You're willing to rush around with a Nasher, with stopping power, active reloads, and the Retro Lancer being as powerful as it was in Gears 3. But as soon as they take all that stuff away, you're not going to be able to rush again?"
That's a good point. It's a very good point.
Really? So I mean, like as soon as I read that, I went, "Whoa, that dude, blew my mind." So.
The movement's a lot faster as well.
You were saying you say you don't normally wall bounce, and you're able to kind of close the gap on a lot of people that were using rifles.
I wall bounce to a degree, but I'm not one of these bouncing like an elastic band between the walls.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do that a lot easier. I think the people with the Lancer are going to be great support players. I think the people with the Retro are going to be a good mid-range. I think there's going to be a hell of a lot of shotguns still from the people that want to use it. I honestly don't think it will be a problem, but we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, it's a big determining factor. Oh yeah, what do you? I don't know why this brought this to mind, but the what's it called? The shield.
Yes.
The boom shield.
The boom shield.
Oh yeah.
Do you think it's a good idea that you can use primaries with that, or
Awesome.
think it's a good idea?
Hey, do you guys remember the glitch in Gears 2 where you
Yeah.
could have the Nasher and the boom shield out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful. It's a pain in
See,
the ass to do,
I-
but it was beautiful.
I honestly, I'll be quiet after this because I'm talking a lot, but passionate about the game, I guess. The boom shield is now a power weapon. It's
Yeah.
now actually a
Useful.
gun that's worth fighting over. Or it's not a gun; it's a thing that's worth
Yeah.
fighting over.
Yeah,
It
'cause
doesn't kill. It doesn't kill, so it's still balanced in a way. You pick up the boom shot, and it's an easy couple of kills. You pick up the boom shield, you're not going to be able to get a kill with the actual shield, but it gives you a bit of cover. I think it's an actual power weapon now, and people actually use it, which is great.
Yeah, because it was pretty easy to get around the boom shield. Like, you just, there's like a wall you can like bounce at a 90-degree angle around him and get behind him. Because, I mean, with it up, you turn so slowly.
yeah.
Even with max, I think you just...
It, if I was playing in like a competitive or a close game, that wasn't what I was going to
Yeah,
go.
nobody ever picked it up in competitive, I'm sure. I don't even think it was in competitive. At least not that I noticed.
No, probably smoke's more useful than that.
Yeah.
So
At
yeah.
least smoke down somebody.
At first I was like, oh god, really? You could do that with the boom shield now? But now that you mention it, it actually seems like it's pretty balanced, and it seems like that's actually a good little change that they've incorporated. What else to talk about? Oh, new game modes. So this isn't completely confirmed. Apparently, the official Xbox magazine talks about this, but I haven't seen it. I've just heard it through like rumor mills. But they're removing, again, rumors. They're removing King of the Hill and they're adding in a domination type of game mode. So, but Lemmings, what do you think about that?
I'm quite interested about that. I mean, in Call of Duty we always play domination anyway, so I'm quite interested to see how it would work out in Gears. I think from a certain point of view it could work, but at the same time, because you've only got 5-man teams, you can only have assuming you've got all 3 rings at any one time, you can only have a maximum of 2 people on each ring.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get someone out of that is going to get matched pretty much every time. It's going to be nigh on impossible to defend it with just 2 people.
Yeah.
Especially with no stopping power. I think at the very least it's worth finding out, see what happens, just to give it a go and see how it works out. I think it could work, but it'll take some tweaking to the traditional domination formula, as it were.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because if you tried to do that in Gears of War 3, that would just be absolute. I'm trying to think of any map where that would work, and I just don't.
That's another thing. Again, we talk about modded talent again. He was talking about the maps. He's like, if you look at Gears 3, most of the maps are wide open, and then from what he's seen in videos, the Gears Judgement maps seem to have a little bit more clutter to them. So that might help in terms of domination and whatnot, as well as the rifle fest. People were like, "Oh, look at all this stuff." I mean, now you've got so much cover between you and this guy, so you can get to him quicker. So
yeah.
So, BA, do you think you glad to hear about domination, or?
I don't know whether it will be a good thing or a bad thing. It depends how they incorporate it. There's a lot of talk on the forums that it's not going to be a Call of Duty domination. It's going to be more like an Unreal Tournament domination, which is less you have a starting flag, and that's primarily where your spawn's going to be, and then you're fighting over a middle one. It's more, there's 3 points around the map, and they're kind of in the middle-ish, so you can fight over all 3 at the same time. And that's what they're kind of saying it's likely to be. But again, they don't know any more than we do, really. You just know that the developers are epic, and that's what they like to do. So
I think the maps would have to be kind of large, no? What do you think? I mean, larger at least. Something. What's the name? Is it Sandbar?
Sandbar.
Well, if you took even one of the smaller maps, let's say you take Checkout,
Love that.
you could have one on grenades, one on digger position, one at the back of the electronics.
That's too close. That's way too close.
Yeah, between grenades and the back electronics.
That's
yeah,
way too close.
Yeah, those.
You would have to do spawn grenades or spawn.
You could never do a spawn point.
Well,
then
like
it wouldn't be
closer,
fair.
like Boltok kind of, like not an actual spawn.
But on that map, it was static spawns, wasn't it? It was always. I mean, you can never have a spawn point where a ring's located. So so then if you're
Yeah,
only
but
two.
this-
Go ahead.
It's just that's just an idea of
Yeah,
kind of what they're talking
yeah,
about.
if they got
it
rid
could,
of the,
it could be the Call of Duty version where you have a point as your spawn, and that's a flag.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
It
what I
would-
was thinking of.
Yeah, so it could. I think they would have to maybe not as large as Sandbar, but I think you'd have to make them a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
But I can see what you're saying. The flags are in the center, and people are fighting over them in the center. Like you would spawn in those traditional checkout spawn points, and you'd rush to the center. So yeah, I could see that working.
I think, and I'm just gonna go on for this. I think if it were to be on that map, you know how it's got those there's two lanes, kind of.
Yeah.
But you can't go in there.
No, you can go in there.
No. Two lanes.
Like,
we're talking.
it's when you on the other spawn, you got the wall. Like you can look over one wall, like you can like look right over and hop over, and then the other ones you can't go over. It's like all those bookshelves.
Yeah.
You'd put a flag there. You'd put a flag in the back of electronics, and you'd put a flag on the other side. Because you wouldn't put one at the power weapon because you just couldn't. There's flame nades and grenade spawn there too. No, it's flame nades and ink, and then digger. You could never put a flag there because it'd just be too easy to control. So yeah, that's where I would put them.
You should make it five points.
No, 3 points. 3 points.
Just dig it around. Just put as many points as possible.
I was actually, I don't know why, but I was actually thinking about like if you had a map like that set up just like that, that's where you'd put them. It'd be kind of like a weird like shape like this, like a little chevron.
I have to look.
Yeah.
You're not showing up in the thing.
Oh,
I
yeah,
missed
that's
it.
true. It's like a
Oh.
chevron, like a.
Give me 20 seconds.
But you
You
guys
mean
know
like
what
a
I'm talking
triangle.
about. Yes.
No, but a triangle's got three
Yeah, well,
sides.
you can make it a triangle. You can make the two lines connecting. So
Yeah.
yes,
I can make
like
a
a
circle.
triangle. It would be a very very.
When's your next chemo session, by the way?
Leave the fuck alone. God, that's just where I'd put them, and I think that's the best place to put them if you were to use that map.
Sure, cool.
Like a
Cool
triangle.
story, bro. And there's a reason why BA's got the brutal legends.
That was Legends with an S. I'm just
Legends with an S. Wow, damn.
Out of interest, I mean, how many brutal legends? How many
We don't
MVPs have you
talk
got?
about this, okay? We don't talk about this.
No, go on. I want to.
You want to know how many MVP medals I have?
Yeah.
I have 442 out of 500.
I think Abe and I have a brutal legend,
Okay.
You have
Okay.
more games played than me, asshole.
but I have one.
More games. More games. And he has one.
So, I mean, come at me, bro. Do you even lift?
I don't.
Apparently you don't.
My hipster phone just.
he's camping corners with a sword off. That's all he does.
Virgo's asking, is it testicular cancer?
Ovarian. Let's keep going.
Okay. Sorry.
Let's keep going.
Okay. The other thing, and we kind of already covered this already, and apparently I didn't know this, but BA said, is BA frozen?
Yes.
No.
He is.
You're
Yeah,
frozen.
but
You're frozen.
if you should. There you
Oh,
go.
there
You're
it
fine.
goes.
I didn't know this, but apparently they designed different maps to cater to different game modes in Gears 3. But I've heard that maybe there's more emphasis this time around for different game modes in Gears Judgment. Like all the different maps are going to cater to the different playlists. I mean, what do you?
A little bit. Some of them, they tried to do it with Gears 3. Maps like Overpass was designed to be a horde map. And they incorporated it into multiplayer. They're going to try and do that again this time. I don't know how it's going to be played out. I know that there's set overrun maps. That's all that I know. The rest of them, your guess is as good as mine.
And hopefully they keep those overrun maps
In Overrun.
Because Overpass might have been one of the worst maps
Ever.
But
for
you know what? At the
multiplayer.
very
Yeah.
least, unlike other companies out there that will remain nameless, they took that out of the rotation. So
Well, let's be honest. If other companies that were going to remain nameless did the same as Epic, there would be no maps to play on other games. that would
Yes.
remain nameless.
that's true.
There would
You
be
would just sit in the lobby, and everyone would look at each other's emblems of dicks. Not inferring any games.
Yeah,
but
no,
I'm saying,
no games.
Just that's all you did.
Yeah.
You just sit in lobbies, and there you go.
Just talk about the world's problems and
Everyone would come together and be friendly.
Yes. Come
So
about the dance.
I can't believe I do
what
look
else?
like I have chemo, man. This is chemo stabby.
This is so we talked about the marks. I think we covered most everything. The last couple things to talk about is I think free for all and overrun. I think those are the last two things. So free for all, I mean,
Let's go.
Stabby says he's going to play that all the time. I've never liked free for all in any game, so I'm apathetic about it. I'm glad that they added it in because on a positive note for the people that played solo, which is most of the people in the Gears community, it's something they can play. But I don't know, free for all, good, bad, indifferent.
I probably won't play it much, but I'll give it a go every now and then.
Yeah.
Just to see if it. I mean, like I say, I've never been a big fan of free for all, but yeah, I'll give it a go, see how it is.
How about you, BA?
If nothing else.
Yeah. The thing that I like about Gears is the fact that it's kind of team orientated rather than out there on your own. So we'll see. I'm not holding it out.
Chris to chemo stabby.
Yep.
That's gonna be a swear I got by tomorrow.
I've already got, I mean, from this fucking forecast, I mean, it doesn't tweet me very much anymore, but my horn tweets me every once in a while, and now I'm gonna have a fucking, somebody's gonna make like a picture, a chemo.
Just take that half. I want you to be bald underneath. I just do.
It's what happens when you toot your horn too much.
See?
You get ball cancer.
Ovarian cancer, god damn it. How many times
Whatever. You get cancer for tooting your horn way too. And you don't even have a brutal legend medal. So how can you toot your horn?
Okay, so let's talk about free for
It's
all,
like
how I
you're
think it's going to be the best
tooting the
one
world's smallest horn.
So
again.
Let's all talk about the size of Stabby's horn.
Stabby, we need to be nice. He's got cancer.
All those times Joe was like, I hope you get cancer. He was actually telling me.
I
Oh,
don't
god
need a horn
damn
when
it.
I'm retro.
You know, knock on wood, no cancer.
Yeah, that thing's so badass. So Stabby, free for all.
I like it. I'll play it.
it?
Somebody's got to get away from you fucking blaming somebody for every fucking death.
Fucking use the digger right for once, asshole.
Okay. Let me get this straight. Here's how it went down. Bernie will tell you his lame-ass, made-up, fabricated story. Okay, everybody knows I'm the king of the digger launcher. Lemmings,
I don't know.
Lemmings has nothing on me. He's actually chickened out of our 1v1 several times.
I didn't check it out.
Shut-
You didn't never arranged it.
Okay. So, here's what happened. I
do it
was
tonight.
slightly intoxicated, and I decided to play Gears with my buddy Bernie.
We're not buddies anymore, not after that.
Well, we're playing on a map that
You're
doesn't
taking
even...
entirely too long. You had 3 shots. How many kills did you get with those 3 shots?
There was no digger on that map, Bernie.
Oh, so now there's not even a digger anymore.
And yet, this is a story about
I took 3 shots, and I missed all 3.
There you go. That's all you needed to
It
say.
was-
How
but-
badly did you miss?
By like inches. Bernie's like, you missed him by like 50 feet.
I thought you were trolling me. That's how far you were missing him. I thought you
Okay,
were shooting him.
here's what happened. I never once shot it up in the air, so I had to have shot it down at the ground, meaning he would have had time for him to move. But where it was originally was going to hit him. I actually anticipated him moving left. He moved right, and I missed. Bernie.
Virgo says she's heard this story 3 times. I
I've-
wonder if it's got any more interesting.
Yeah. I just heard that
How
lemmings.
quickly did you stop
I
listening
heard
to these,
lemmings can hit people from a pretty far distance.
Okay.
And you
I can hit people from
Yeah.
a pretty far distance too.
I can direct people from 60 feet away with a digger
That's
while
it.
I'm facing the other direction. I can
I've-
fire it
I've
over my
actually-
shoulder and direct
I've
it back.
actually gotten 80
Okay,
with my
Stabby.
TV off.
Okay, come on, Stabby. This isn't like an EP contest. Let's just give it a rest.
Yeah.
I hate you guys.
There is no test. My P is bigger than yours. Always. I mean, there's photographic proof. My EP is the size of a cannon. There's photographic proof of that.
Jesus.
He failed. That hurt. Yes, that's exactly what happened. He failed, and I got butt hurt.
It's true. Okay, so then let's talk about the ability to call out. Bernie's ability to call out is outstanding. Okay, so
I've never done. Oh, I do call out sometimes.
he's running away from 2 dudes. Does
They're
not
scary.
tell me he's got 2 dudes chasing him. I see him engage in a 1v1. I start lancering him. The second dude comes from around the corner and bodies me instantly. Then the guy Bernie was 1v1ing, since Bernie sucks with a shotgun, Bernie lost. And then goes, who the fuck was the R-tard with the Lancer?
No, I said I would have been okay, but this R-tard with the Lancer can't hit anybody. Which, I mean, to be fair, it was a giant vacant hallway, which is very easy to see two giant people running down the
Okay,
hallway.
so BA, pretend you're not as good as you are and you're on my level, which is actually significantly lower. And you're coming from one side, we'll just say the right side. You're coming from the right side of the map. And you're at Boom. You duck in a hallway waiting for Boom. Which direction do you look? Do you look left? Do you look to the left or the right of the map?
You look to whichever way you're going to look, and you
Stabby,
use your ears
I
to
want you to read
behind you.
Stabby, I want you to read the chat just real quickly. What did Rand say?
No one
I
cares.
don't think
You both
anybody
suck.
cares.
Yeah,
To be
so-
fair,
I
let's-
care. This needs to be settled narrow.
Stabby, this isn't
nobody's
Make a
gonna
Wish.
watch-
You can't just do whatever you
Nobody's
want.
gonna watch this far in the video anyway. So
we're
who
gonna
cares?
since this isn't your wish. Okay, so
I
here
have
is
chemo.
where
It's
we're
Make a
gonna
Wish
go from
Foundation,
here.
okay?
Anyways, Overrun. I hear amazing things. So Overrun BA, just ignore ovarian cancer, and we will go.
Overrun, absolutely fantastic map. Or absolutely fantastic mode, sorry. It's literally game-changingly good. It's worth picking up the game just to play that.
And to be clear, that is Horde versus, or not Horde, or Locust versus Cog, but you play as both sides.
It's Beast versus Horde as the most easy way to describe it. Basically, every cog that you can choose has different classes. You can have a soldier, an engineer, a medic, a scout, and I think that's it actually. I think there's only 4. Each one has their own little ability, and each one has a benefit to the team. That's the cog. In the Locust, you've got all the different Locusts. You could be a Grenadier, you could be a Ticker, you could be a Cantus, a Blood Mount, a Corpser, whatever's on there. There's also a new one on there as well, a Rager, which is an interesting thing. But he's got a Breach Shot, which is a bolt action, one-shot headshot sniper rifle.
Oh god!
But it hasn't got the zoom capability of the long shot, but it's got a long bolt action, and he can kind of transform into some kind of berserker thing. Briefly, but he's still very vulnerable.
Now, what happens if you're Cog and you die?
You respawn
Immediately, or
there's a timeout, and there's points on the map. Basically, the idea of the game is that the Locusts have to keep on progressing and take point after point after point, and get to a generator, and then blow up the generator, and that's game over. In each bit before they destroy the next point, there's a position that they spawn at, and the Cog can't enter that position. They get eaten by Krill if they do. Big bloody mess. It's brilliant.
Okay.
And on the other side, there's a Cog spawn. Now the Locusts can get in there, but if they get in there, they're not going to last very long because it's right at the back of the Cog spawn, and they'll rip them to pieces.
Okay.
And yeah, the Cog spawn. So they spawn reasonably close to their objective that they've got to defend, but not right on top of it. And the Locusts have to fight through fortifications and things to get to the point.
Oh, so you can build. Is it kind of like how Horde? You can get points to build it, or they're already there?
They're already there.
Okay.
They cannot be rebuilt, but they can be repaired.
Okay. Okay.
So honestly, it's one of the best. When we were playing at Eurogamer, I didn't want to leave the table. I really didn't. It was just brilliant fun.
Did you play Left 4 Dead 2? Or Left 4 Dead? Have you played that series?
Yes.
How does that compare to something like multiplayer versus in that?
My closest guess would be survival, I'd say. Survival, if you're not playing Left 4 Dead, people, you had a generator that you had to run around the map and collect gas cans to come and put it back in the generator. And it's a similar sort of vein, except all you have to do in Overrun is just defend the generator. You don't have to keep it fueled or anything like that. You just have to defend it. And as you get further in, the guys playing as the Locusts get more points. They can spawn as the bigger creatures. It does get more difficult. I think each round is 6 minutes. I think it was.
Yeah.
And
it was the version that we were playing, but the version that we were playing was only one objective that they had to destroy. And the one that at least got another 2.
Yeah, another 2. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know they bumped it up to 4 rounds per match as well now.
Have they? Interesting.
Yeah.
And
yeah, there was a video I was watching the other day where there was first they were protecting the generator, and then they moved on to like another side of the map, and the locusts were trying to open an e-hole that the cog had sealed.
Yeah.
And so then COG win just by time. They have to hold it for 6
Yeah.
minutes without them touching.
But it's hard. It's hard.
Is it?
Me and Lemmings, of course, managed it. You're a gamer.
Yeah, because we're awesome.
Because they have fucking, what's it called?
Haven't heard Stab in a while. I'm glad to have you back, buddy.
Well, there was this moment
in
in
the
the
it took his voice.
yeah. No, there was this moment in Overrun where I was kind of defending this point, and then a guy came up behind me, but I actually used my ears and heard him coming.
Mhm.
And managed to kill him. Something that Stabby can't do, obviously. But
That's poor Stab. I don't see his reactions either. He just
I'm sick, and they're fucking making fun of me. And...
The whole reason this cast happened tonight was because of Stabby, and he's about to die.
no, it's honestly Overrun. If you're gonna pick up the game, pick it up, give that a go. You will probably love the crap out of it because you can do what you want in that one. If you want to play as a team player, that was the thing that we struggled with the most. Is a bit the fact it is very team orientated.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody to be healing you. You need somebody to be dropping ammunition. You need somebody to be repairing the fortifications. You need somebody to be spotting, which are the powers that the cog have. If someone isn't using their power, then it's very quick that you all run out of ammo and you're all stood around the soldier going, well, throw me some ammo. And it is a team thing. But it's great fun.
Okay,
It's great fun. So if you get a corpse coming towards you, it's human controlled. There's a human in there.
Yeah.
It's brilliant fun.
Okay, then I guess that's the one silver lining, because it seems like it's been doom and gloom most of this cast. We've had some positives, but I think by and large, everything has always had some negative side to it. But it seems like Overrun is actually a pretty fun game mode. So as bad as at least I've been towards Judgment so far, I still plan on picking the game up, and I'm definitely going to still get the game. And it seems like at the very least I'll have Overrun to play if for some reason I don't like multiplayer. And then there's the campaign. The co-op campaign is always a lot of fun in that game. So yeah, I mean, is there any other thoughts that you want to throw out there?
No,
None?
I think I'm good.
Yeah. So I mean, all you guys are still getting the game, right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Fuck you guys. Why would I want to play with any one of you assholes? I'm going to play free-for-all. Fuck this shit. I will get the game, but to play free-for-all.
It's right, Sammy. I'm sure you can get a Brutal Legend medal just from playing free for all.
No, the only thing that I'll say with the game is there's a lot of people hating on it already because of there's this missing or there's that missing. It's a new game. It is a new game. It's not a Call of Duty next version of the game that you played last year. It is a new game as such, so give it a chance.
Yeah.
Don't get too down about the announcements that's going to be made. I'm sure there's going to be more. Don't get too down about them. Just kind of see it as it'll be a new game. Let's attack it as a new game.
And there's not going to be any beta, right? Like they did with the first three.
No,
No,
it's too late
It
for
would,
that.
it would be already out.
Yeah, it would have been out
Would
September.
have been out in October, I thought.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mercy.
So, okay. Well, there's our thoughts. I'm glad you guys could. I know it's what time is it for you guys over there? It's 5.
10 to
10 to
1 with work in the morning.
Then we are done. Appreciate you guys coming on, giving us your thoughts. Hopefully, Gears of War Judgment turns out to be a good game, and fuck War Z and buy Walking Dead. Those are my other things.
Yeah,
Go
fuck
do that.
Mercy. Actually,
Go-
it's the best game in there.
Go buy Walking Dead right now,
Bye, guys.
like right now. I appreciate.